Hello, thank you for joining this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker. We are glad you are joining us and always glad to be joined by Earl Eues. Earl, thanks for being here.
Kate, good to be here this evening.
We appreciate it. And so, Earl, of course, Terrebonne Parish Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness. And we've finally gotten to a point where we're seeing some real changes and some good numbers. Tell us a little bit about where we stand with COVID.
Yeah, the numbers of cases have been in single digits over the last few days, which is good for us. And then those of you that get the numbers from us on a daily basis, you'll see that there was a -4, a -4 of the number of cases, and that's probably due to the Louisiana Department of Health doing some corrections with the numbers, reviewing the numbers. So to me, a -4 is a 0.
Right,
okay?
right.
So and then, but we had 2 more deaths since Monday. So it's we're up to about 338 deaths that occurred in Terrebonne Parish from the COVID, and then. Testing is way down, and I mentioned that before. Since Monday we had 111 tests, so from yesterday. So that's 2 days worth. So it's about 50 tests
Total.
Yeah. Okay. And like I mentioned before, a lot of people are taking home tests.
Right.
So those numbers don't reflect in our testing numbers. The biggest number I like here is no hospitalizations.
That's the best number we can hear of.
That's
no
correct.
hospitalizations and no deaths.
That's correct. So in Lafourche Parish only had 1 hospitalization. So those are great numbers. Back during a couple of the peaks, we were at 30 to 40 patients a day in the hospital with COVID.
Right.
And many on ventilators and in the ICU.
Right.
So it's great to see 0 numbers for ventilators and 0 for ICU, and especially 0 for just being in the hospital.
Yeah, and look, I can tell you just as recently as the end of January, beginning of February, we had a lot of ICUs full. Yeah. I mean, I had a friend that could not get into an ICU bed anywhere in Lafourche or Terrebonne or St. Mary Parish. Yeah. Had to be sent to New Orleans.
Our percent positivity yesterday was listed on the LDH website as 1.9%, which was the same as last week. So I'm checking to see if there was some disparities in that number. I was hoping it would go down some more. Right. Total in the whole state is 0.7%.
Wow.
Total positivity throughout the whole state of Louisiana. If you use the LDH website, if you go on that site for coronavirus, you'll see the whole state, except for maybe a couple parishes up in the northeast, that it's all green.
Okay.
And at one time, it was all red.
Right, right.
So, it's really looking good for us. I think nobody has scientifically said this, but I think we reached some herd immunity. Yeah. Especially with the Omicron, because the number of people that had it, and it really wasn't they didn't get really sick. Okay, it wasn't that viral. So I think some people got some immunity at that point, and then we're still at about 43% in the Terrebonne Parish for vaccinations, which isn't good, but they're still available. If you wish to go get a vaccine, please go get one, because we really don't know when, where, or if we'll get another strain.
Right, or another spike. And it's interesting that -4 numbers, it could be as simple as somebody who lives on 316 and they were originally put on Terrebonne Parish, and it may have been on Lafourche, because
that's correct.
So those divisions are so close in some of our parishes, and that's how that could go. They may have been treated or seen in one parish, but live in another.
That's correct. And they also keep track of the reinfections, the people that get reinfected. Those numbers have been in the single digits also. So total reinfections from March 2020 to today is 1,562 residents.
1,562.
Yeah, so 1,562, which isn't a lot.
No.
Compared, we have 112,000 residents in Terrebonne Parish.
Yeah. So
112,000.
And so we've kind of talked about one of the things that was a major change for me in the work that I do every day, being in and out of hospital systems, in and out of doctors' offices. It was shocking to me to have my mask in my pocket as I went into Terrebonne General Health System, and masks were not required.
Yes, that is a milepost, to reach to that point. Because I always thought forever that medical systems would be wearing masks. So for them, and it's such a relief for the workers.
And that's who I thought about, Earl. I thought about all of those people that, because we mask, when we're around other people, we mask, and you and I have done that longer than most. But those people had to mask all day long.
Yeah, and most of them would wear an N95,
right,
which is very tight against your face,
and it's hot.
It's hot, and so I'm sure they're happy that they don't. Now, the only place you would have to wear a mask that's mandated in Terrebonne Parish is the transit system.
The public transportation.
The public transit, Good Earth transit system. It is federally regulated.
Right.
And all federal transit has to wear masks. It's like if you're flying on an airplane.
Earl, we've had some interesting weather patterns, and it's ironic that it's happened on Wednesday and Wednesday in consecutive weeks. And so it's just windy Wednesday, I suppose. But tell us a little bit about these patterns and kind of what you've been told as the director here.
Well, March is a month that we do get a lot of severe weather. Okay. People don't really think about it, but it is. What the issue is, these cold fronts come down, but they don't come all the way down. And so as that colder air meets the warm Gulf moisture is where we get those strong thunderstorms and the issues. So, the beginning of March, the National Weather Service has a weather awareness week.
Okay.
Because they know the potential for us to have severe weather, including tornadoes, is in the month of March. So they do that. October is another month that they have some weather awareness also for our state. But, the atmospheric conditions, for a tornado to occur and like hurricanes and those large systems like that, the atmospheric conditions have to be perfect for that to happen. And it just so happened in a week's time, it was perfect.
Back to back. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect Wednesday.
And look, the weather.
Formations.
The weather's. People are starting to pay attention a lot more. But let me, with social media and being able to monitor the National Weather Service and anything that they publish, people are getting these notices of possible severe weather next week. 5 to 7 days in advance, and then the Weather Service keeps updating those forecasts till the day that the storm comes. So we feel like a lot of people are paying attention to those, especially those that are in temporary housing because of Hurricane Ida.
And so I don't know if this is something that's large scale or not, but there was a gentleman, I was picking up some stuff at Lowe's, which I spend a lot of time at lately. I was picking up some tools for my house, and he was looking for anchors. He was looking for large metal anchors, and he was having trouble finding them to anchor his camper.
Yeah, I'm sure, some people, especially those that are brought out by the insurance companies, are anchored. The state is in the process right now of anchoring all of their trailers.
Oh, good.
When FEMA installs a trailer, it's anchored. So the state's in the process of getting all theirs anchored now, trying to get ready for hurricane season.
Yeah, wow. And again, we talk about the number of people that impacts. Let's go over the number of people that are in travel trailers from the state and from FEMA.
So at the present time in Terrebonne Parish, we have 2,500 families in trailers.
Not people.
Not people.
Families.
That's families. So if you average family of 3 people, we're looking at about 7,500 people. So that's a lot of people that are in temporary housing, and that does not include people that have gotten trailers through their insurance companies or went out and purchased their own trailer, to temporary live in.
Yeah, and we're probably talking another 250 to 500 people.
Probably so. Unfortunately, we don't have a count on that. Yeah. But so we're in the process now of planning to be able to shelter that number of people during a tropical storm.
Right.
which we usually don't call for an evacuation on a tropical storm. But since we have so many people in temporary housing, we're probably going to issue mandatory evacuations for those living in travel trailers and mobile homes.
Right.
And so we will provide a place for them to shelter. My best recommendation is to try to find a friend or family member that you can go stay in just for a couple of days during the storm. Tropical storm category 1 or 2. There's potential for major storms 3, 4 that we will do a mandatory evacuation of the whole parish if necessary. But definitely during tropical storms category 1s and 2s, we are going to call a mandatory evacuation for people in travel trailers and mobile homes that have been installed by FEMA in the state.
Right. And for these two wind events, these two thunderstorms that came through, both on Wednesdays, there was the availability. And last night, there weren't very many.
Yeah, the parish president, make sure that there is a shelter available for people to go to during these events. So Parish President Gordon Dove opened up the Dumas Auditorium yesterday. Parish employees staffed it for people to go to get out of the weather. We did not have a lot of people show up last night, which kind of makes me wonder where they're going. But I think they went out to eat.
I think it's a good point.
Okay, I think they went to a family member, or relative, or they went out to eat to ride out the storm for a little while, and then maybe they left the restaurant and went to Walmart or another shopping venue until the storm passed over, because those places are stronger than what they're in.
Right. And it's a really good opportunity. I think people have gotten better about managing what to do and when to do it. And like you said, these media entities give us a lot of availability to know when that's coming and to know what to do.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's a good preparation for hurricane season, which is right around the corner.
It's right around the corner, so people should be thinking about what they're going to do and where they're going to go. And last night I got to spend quite a bit of time on the desk last night doing the weather coming through.
Right.
I appreciate Morton doing that and just kind of letting everybody know what's happening, what's going on. And to be able to do Facebook and YouTube broadcasts, it reaches out to a lot more people.
It really does. We appreciate you being here and connecting us with all the things we need to. Thanks again,
Like
Earl.
to be here, Keith.
All right. Very good. That will do it for this particular segment. Don't go anywhere. A lot more Bayou time when we continue.